complete.
Hi, I'm Kathy, and my story is one of not being enough, not feeling that I'm good enough, not thinking that I have a story worth telling, thinking that nobody wants to listen to what I have to say. And it's a story of unfulfilled potential, but it's a work in progress, and that's why I'm standing here on this stage in front of you now, because it's part of my journey. So, when again, like some people here, I had a happy childhood as far as I can remember, no big kind of impactful, traumas or tragedies, which I'm very grateful for, but I loved school, I loved learning, I absolutely adored primary school. I never missed a day. I was in all the school plays, I used to take the lead roles, I was Nancy and Oliver, I was happy to get up and sing in front of people. I was a happy, confident kid who absolutely loved to learn and just sucked up information. Now in my second year of primary school, and I don't know any of you are old enough to still call it primary school, second year juniors, I think that would be year 4 now, I was 8-9 years old. And my teacher got very sick, and we were taught that year by our headmaster, a guy called Mr. Gleave, who seemed about 100 to us at the time, but probably was in his 70s. He used to regale us with tales of the war, and we all idolised him. He was just like this sort of demigod to us. And we were so thrilled that he was our teacher for that year. And I remember him saying of me in my report, Catherine absorbs facts like a sponge, which was true, because I loved learning, right? And I'll never forget one day doing a quiz. He said he had a treat for us. He said, there's a quiz and there'll be a special prize for whoever comes top. Kept saying special prize, special prize. I thought, ooh, special prize, I wonder what the special prize is. Anyway, it's a general knowledge quiz. I can't even remember the questions, but it was appropriate for kids of 8 or 9, and I sat and wrote all the answers, and we swapped and marked up each other's tests, and then he was like, anyone get 10 out of 20, stand up. And so it went on, and I'd got 20 out of 20. And when it got to 20 out of 20, the only person who stood up was me, as it happened. So he said, all right, come up the front for your special prize. All he did was he slapped me on the backside. And all the kids laughed, and I, like you, burnt with shame. I felt that laugh, it's probably only a 5-second laugh, but for me it could have been 2 minutes. I wanted the ground to swallow me up, and I could not sit down in that seat fast enough. And ever since that day, and I'm actually getting emotional, which surprises me, that's characterised sort of how I've lived my life. I've still achieved, I got a first in my degree, I've done lots of things, but I've never wanted recognition, and I've never wanted to stand out. So I've always played it small, I've played a small game. I went into, after my degree, I went to fitness because it was my passion and I wanted to do something that I loved, which I do, and I do to this day. But I played it small. I was having a laugh. It was fun. I got to hang out with people, and I've been doing it 25 years now, I've just had this niggling feeling of I'm not fulfilling my potential. And as I've got older and more aware of my mortality, just thinking, if this was it, if this were my last day on earth, would I look back and be happy with all I've done? And the answer to that is no, it isn't. I do feel there's more inside me, that I have much more to give, much more to grow, and then to share with people. So this feeling of not enoughness has sort of been an underlying current through my life, and it's led me, I've been doing what I do 25 years, I'm pretty well qualified and experienced after 25 years of constant growth and study, but I've always felt I needed to know more. I needed to do this course or that course, or when I do that, then I'll put myself out there, then I'll start telling everyone I'm an expert, then I'll say, look at me, come to me, you need me. But I've always just kept below the radar, stuck myself on the internet, but I've never wanted to stand up and say, this is me, this is what I do, this is what I believe, and this is why you should come to me. I've just stayed in the shadows. And as my industry's got more and more competitive, as I'm sure all of yours have, it's become more and more important that we do that and that we make connections with our audience. And so after sort of spending far too much money and getting into debt, going on course after course after course, it was that thing of, well, what is the lesson I need to learn here? If I keep making these same mistakes, what is it what is the message? And the message was, you don't need to look without and look at all these external things that you need to know or do. You need to look within and find that stuff within, as I know some of us here have touched on. And so that's the journey I'm on now, trying to develop myself, my values, my personal development. And I would also say to you, anything that you need is within you, which I think Katie said at the very beginning of the day. And the other thing I would say is, the one thing I'm still resisting is social media and like lives and things like that. And I know it's the very thing I need to do. And what I'd say to you as well is that one thing you're really resisting doing, that's the one thing you absolutely need to be doing.
Yo!